Hello kiddos, welcome back. So please like my videos, share my videos, and please if you like and share and also you subscribe my videos. Thank you. So now today will be learning about data types. So last time we had a little bit conversation about the JavaScript, what the language it is, how it is founded, and what is the uses and the demerits. So today we'll be starting with programming basics and mathematical concepts which we use for our programming language, as any kind of programming language has the same programming basics, but the syntax and what the different programming basics applied for that particular mathematical concepts or maybe algorithms, how to create those things we have to learn through this programming basics. So first thing is the data types. Okay, so when you'll click to the data type on my slide, so you will get to this page. In this page, you will see what are the data types. The value in JavaScript is always of a certain type. For example, a string or a number. This is the main thing. In every programming language, the main two data types would be the string and the number. The string would be the characters, letters, literals, and anything. Which we put it in double quotes. See, can you see here hello world? It is put in double quotes, so it is a string. So there are 8 basic data types in JavaScript. We will cover this in later in this full course, but basic you have to understand, like it would be the string and the number. And see now here, that allows is dynamically typed exist data types, but variables are not bound to any of them. So here is the number, how we can use the number, then the big int. Nowadays we are not using these data types. We mostly use like number, string, boolean, undefined value, null value, objects. These are the main things. Big int we use in very less cases where there are any calculations related to exponential, or maybe there is any of the calculation related to negative numbers, arbitrary length, cryptography, or microsecond precisions. These are very rare type of thing, but it would be helpful to just understand like where we can use this. The first one is the number. In number we have to use the number type is both integer and floating point number. So there are many operators for numbers, example multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, and so on. Besides regular number, there are so special numeric values which are also called as the data type, that are infinity, and the NaN, that is not a number. So these are the some basic data types which we will see in the error, or if there are some, like you can see here 1 divided by 0, something is which is infinite, correct? So it is just, it will print infinite. Here it would be the infinite. You can just play and see this. See, javascript.info says infinite. You can check this. Or just reference it as directly like this. It will give the same answer. What is not a number? Same, such division is erroneous. Anything string divided by a number is not a number. So these are something kind of things where we use for exceptional cases, where we don't get the correct value, and we use it in computational error, operational error. So just we can understand, like if something is going wrong, how we can understand whether it's correct or not. So these errors are highlighted and helpful to understand, like our mathematical operation has some error or is getting some wrong results. So be careful at that time. So the big int we just talked about it. String is very popular in JavaScript, must be surrounded by quotes. This is very important. Sometimes we use double quotes, sometimes use single quotes, or we can use a dollar like string name. It does the same work. So this is just like we are referring wrapping them in this particular expressions. So backticks are extended functionality codes. They allow us to embed variables and expression into a string by wrapping them in dollar bracket, for example. So it will give you directly, like, let name is equal to John. Alert, this is a single quote, like a backtick, and dollar name, so it's hello John. That's the answer, that's the output. And regularly this will show you different kinds of methods, how we can use the string in different types and whatever we are defining. So I'll get back to these things, like what is let, what is var. We will just know firstly what are the data types, so that it would be very easy to understand var and let use and other different types of data types. The keywords what for this data types. For Boolean, it is like true or false. Now if we are checking something, logical operations, or just we want something to be like, okay, is this number greater than 4? Please, yes, true, then print this. If this number is not greater than 4, print different thing. So it would be used for many other conditional kind of structures. Or if we want to have only one particular section which should print a particular condition which should be true, then we have to print the output some different output or results, and if it is false we should output some different results. So this is what we use as a Boolean. It is called as a logical type, so it would be true or false. The null value. Actually, the special null value does not belong to any of the types described above. It forms a separate type of its own, which contains only the null value. Null value, it is nothing but just null. In JavaScript, null is not a reference to a non-existing object or a null pointer like in something other languages. This is just a special value which represents nothing, empty, or value unknown. The code above states that age is unknown. So that is something which we don't know, or which is nothing, which is empty. And what is about undefined? The special value undefined also stands apart. It makes a type of its own, just like null. The meaning of undefined is a value is not assigned. If a variable is declared but not assigned, then its value is undefined. Now you can see here, let age. Oh, we don't know what is the age. So when you put alert age, it shows undefined. This is the window. It will give us the window. Alert method will help us to tell us that it gives a window. There are many other methods which will give you how to give a window, so that it will tell you alert that age is undefined. I'll just do it practically so will you understand it. Nextly, similarly here there is another one, let age is equal to 100 and age is undefined. Change the value to undefined, so the value will become undefined. These are some basic questions, not questions but definitions, how we have to use undefined, null. The next is the objects and the symbols. The object type is special. It is just like when you are creating any other primitive type of data, and if you want to use the same data and with creating another objects, we use the object and symbols. The other types are called primitive because these values can contain only a single thing, being a string or a number or whatever. In contrast, objects are used to store collection of data and more complex entities. Being that important objects deserve a special treatment. We shall deal with them later in the objects chapter. Yeah. And the symbol is just a create unique identifier for an object, but also postpone the details till we know objects. The type of operator. The type of operator returns the type of that argument. Now, if we have defined x as a number, so the type of x will return that this is a number. Like you can see here. When you say type of undefined, it will return undefined. Type of 0 is a number. type of 10n, this is a big int. So if you want to know more about the big int, you can just check over here in the data types like big int. I mostly don't focus as this is a beginner course, so you just should know this what is the big int, but not thoroughly, because it can be used in advanced courses. Next is type of, like it is a boolean true. This looks like a string, this is some symbol, this is an object. Math, okay, math would be containing all kinds of operations: addition, multiplication, division, subtraction. Null, it will show you the object, and the alert, this will show you the function. Type of, what is the alert? It is a method or it is something, a function. So math is a built-in object that provides mathematical operation. So I don't want to go in depth about the type of, and again some other operators, like other special data types. Just you remember, like main important data types which we have to have is number and the strings. And numbers, it would be like integers and maybe a floating point number, and we would be using this number data type for multiplication, division, addition and subtraction, and many other operations. So for now, for the data types, this is a very good discussion. So get back to the PPTs. So this is the next slide. In this you will see the primitive data types. This all we have discussed already. I'm just giving you the reference of it. Like string, an immutable string of characters, like var greetings is equal to single quotes Hello Kitty. Var restaurant, it is like Pamela's. You can see this example. And how to write the number, it should be whole, like in an integer or a floating point. Boolean represent logical value true or false. Undefined represent a value that does not have been defined. Null represent explicitly empty value. These are, the next would be the variables. So there are different kinds of variables. Use variables to store the values. Whenever we are writing any kind of a program, then this program contains some expressions or different kinds of variables. Or now if you want to declare two statements like var x and x is equal to 5. So let's discuss this in practically. Okay,